What's going on, guys? Hey, we are back. We've got something pretty special here. This is a United 24 video, brand new. It says combat footage from a Ukrainian recon group, Operation Apollon, Donetsk region. I'm not familiar with Apollon, but it's an hour, 10-minute long video, so we're probably gonna have to space this up into a couple, maybe a few different parts. But this is gonna be really cool. So before we jump into it, because we're watching direct action footage like this, it is relevant to this new series that I started called TCCC Adapted. TCCC is a set of guidelines, combat medicine guidelines that have been in place since the early 90s, almost 30 years. They've been primarily focused on and adapted to the GWAT era conflicts, wars in the Middle East, fighting groups of not super well armed rebels, stuff like that. They are not adapted for peer to peer conflicts, big army versus big army, and they're not adapted for drone saturated environments. So I've taken what I've learned here in Ukraine over the past 3 years now that I've lived here and implemented it into what I know in TCCC. I've taken a lot of combat medicine courses. I've taken a lot of, including emergency medicine in the US when I had my EMT license. So I was able to kind of adapt some of these things into what I now believe should be a more relevant and modern version of TCCC. And it's not just for combat medics, man. The part of the adapted portion of this is everybody who is in this type of a situation should know these rules. They should know how to do things like needle decompressions and applying multiple chest seals and all kinds of stuff. So go check that out for me. And lastly, then we'll jump into it. We're wrapping up our fundraiser for John and Patrick's drone unit.
Hello everyone from Different Breed. My name is John from Sweden. This is Patrick from Norway. We've been in Ukraine for 4 years now. We are transitioning into drones and we're taking drone classes right now, and we need your help. We are launching a fundraiser for controllers, ground station cables, antennas, and goggles. We're very thankful for all you guys' help up until this point. It means a lot to us, and a lot of the work we've been doing down here wouldn't be possible without you guys' help. So we truly appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and Slava Ukraini!
Героям слава!
We're going to go to the end of this week, get as much as we can, and then we're going to wrap it because we have an injured buddy who we're going to start a fundraiser for here. So if you are willing and able and you want to help these guys become combat effective on the battlefield, consider donating to them. They're going to get their stuff. They're going to send us photos of what they're purchasing with your guys' donations, and also some video and photo of when they start working. So very cool, tangible way to see your donations in Ukraine. All right, that's all I got. Let's get into it. Oh, something I thought was cute, man. All the crazy stuff that's happening in Iran specifically. So they're still trying to figure out how to get this nuclear dust, this enriched uranium out of Iran, right? Or Iran. And I saw in the news that Russia and China spoke up, and they're like, hey, you know what, guys, we'll take it. We'll take it from them. We want to help in this situation. We'll go ahead and take their extremely enriched, almost nuclear weapons, enriched uranium. We'll take one for the team. We'll go ahead and take that off their hands. And the administration's like, no. Just like not even considering it, which I'm happy about. I just thought it was funny that they even thought that would be an option.
The
commander comes back from a meeting and says, we need to conduct a diversion. On enthusiasm, we sprint and fly into the trench. First grenades go.
Закидай прямо вгору. Налево? Вона уходить туди. Кидай.
But if something goes wrong,
We've seen some of this footage, so yes, some of it'll be a recap, but oftentimes United 24 puts in some additional context. Obviously, we've got the operators on that mission talking about it, so this is going to be sick.
My call sign is academic. I'm Opir. My call sign is Mazik. My call sign is Apollon. My name is Shepard. At the time of the assault actions,
Oh, his call sign is Apollon. Same with the operation name?
I was a scout in the reconnaissance company. Academic was the company commander. Opir was the machine gunner. I held the position of senior combat medic in a separate recon company. One of the key elements already carrying out combat tasks at that time was the recon platoon. They decided to form a company out of it, and I was offered to lead it. So,
Academic.
everyone contributed something, and we molded it into a plan that ended up working. The first move out to that position was a foot recon, and there we ran into mine obstacles. Everything was seated with PPMs and pedals, and we saw that just walking through on luck was almost unreal. Literally, in the evening, the commander comes back from a meeting and says, "We need to conduct a diversion." The decision was taken to clear a passage before the assault, lay charges, detonate remotely, make ourselves a way into the... We moved on foot in MVGs to the point where we met the engineers. Then we moved to the endpoint of Raj, our position. On the first light, we moved. Barber went first then. We agreed he goes first, and I closed. We reached the point where the PPMs were scattered, and in place the charge. Pulled back as far as the field wire allowed. I report to academic that we're ready. That's it, we blew it. Boom.
This is cool.
That was specific. Good one. Then we returned to base. That non-directional mine blasted a corridor and an approach to the position through the mine obstacles. The task we pursued was to identify how many enemy fire assets they could allocate to cover the position and how long their aiming would take, so we'd know the timing and how much time we'd need to get in. We prepped, and the task was this. Work that machine gun nest on enthusiasm. We sprint and fly into the trench. First grenades go. Then we start entering and working in pairs. One pair goes left. That was Barber and Shepard. I covered from above as fire support. And Maxim and Rostik were to go to the right flank. So we immediately cleared and moved toward the main direction where we observed them. Because there was a machine gun nest, and a bit to the right another dugout where they later holed up, and we were Venezia sausage with our canned meat.
Я сам. Туда, котов. Стой. Закидай прямо вниз. Налево? Вона уходить туда. Кидай прямо. Я зайду потім. Кидай, плюс.
God.
By standard, Barber went first and controlled the dugout entrance, and I was number 2 and tossed in a grenade. Then he finished off the wounded side.
Go. Чисто. О? Чисто. Точно чисто. Я не видно.
When they already got into the trench, trench, that's when I also pulled up and dug in as number 3 on the right, where Roma was number 1, Shepard number 2, and I number 3. On the left, Barber worked, cleared the observation post, and Academic held the passage. There was a fork, so they held the left side if you looked that way, and we went right.
Командир, надо дальше двигаться. Долго шли. Рома, пошли. Пошли, контроль. И прям. Водя на контроль.
We had one small moment. We didn't really account for time, and all our actions were a bit delayed. And the enemy woke up when we started approaching the machine gun nest, working it, throwing grenades. That with the machine gun, the senior on the position, worked Rostik. And all I remember while covering and pouring it in there, Commander, I'm wounded. That me. It made itself known.
They could hear him.
Я держу верх. Слева, по-моему, голос был.
I'm just getting up, and I hear. I was like, I didn't get it. I wanted to clamp down my rifle to return fire, and I feel I can't shoot. Felt like my arm was behind my back. I look right. Oh, where's my arm? I try to shrug. Saw it was hanging.
Oh no.
Straight up. Why I respect Apollon. The wounds were serious, but the guy didn't quit. Calm, no panic, no screaming. He started crawling back towards ours by himself, to where Barber and Academic were. Academic stayed up by a tree, covering the upper level of the trench. They started dragging Apollon out, and at that moment, I already had a grenade ready and tossed it right into the dugout. And we started going.
Dude, the guy that got injured, Apollon, was it Apollon? I think so. When he got injured, he literally was like, 300. That was it. Like, he's not screaming or anything, and his arm's just hanging there.
Into the dugout.
Oh.
And I had a misfire. I tucked behind the corner before the entrance to the dugout. I didn't hear that the surviving tossed a grenade, and when I leaned out to clear the dugout, the grenade detonated, literally near my head. The goggles saved me.
Ну, фотка б, наверное, не передала б. Тут 3 отметини від уламків.
Bro.
Проплавило чуть-чуть стекло.
Eye protection, eye protection, eye protection, dude. Oh my gosh. So this guy wears glasses like I do, it looks like, because he's got his prescription lenses on the inside of the ballistic lens. Dude.
Воно не наскось.
I still have fragments in my earplugs. There was ballistic protection on the shoulders too. And, you know, plus minus, gear saved me. And basically, that's where our recon by fire ended because 2 people were wounded. And Academic made the right call to break contact.
Надо МК, 2300, 2300, МК. Я тоже 300.
I understand that out of 5 of us, only 4 have left. We could push with 4, but if something goes wrong, we might not get out of the trenches at all. We didn't want that. Me, as a commander, first of all, I had to bring all the guys back home.
Андрюха, вытягиваемся. Что? Вытягиваемся. Оттягиваемся? Помогай, вытягиваемся назад. Давай. Давай, давай. Меня прикрыли. Авария, авария. Блядь, авария! Кройте, кройте, кройте. Парни, дайте прикрыть. Есть так прям. Блядь, сука. Стоп, побежал. Там бегал. Сука. Прикрий! Прикрий! Надо выносить. Прикрий. Сейчас, я перезаряжаюсь. Стой. Готов. Давай. Готов. Автомат. Давай, 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 движение. Давай. Автомат захвати, автомат.
I only saw there was heavy bleeding from my arm and something on my leg, but it wasn't flowing much. Then I suddenly felt a massive drop in strength. We're walking and the road feels so heavy, so long, and the tree line is so thick.
Попер, что у него? Рука?
Андрюха, его смотрит нога. Андрюха, ти, будь ласка,
Все, сейчас это.
хочу води.
I didn't feel leg pain then. The arm hurt more because you walk and branches catch it. It's dangling, and I'm thinking, I was the first wounded. It pissed me off.
Подожди, стой, стой, стой. Садись, садись потихоньку. Принимай снизу, принимай снизу. Снизу принимай опер.
Перебігай, перескакуй.
Андрюха, быстрее.
Приймаємо.
Принял. Так, я вам осторожно.
That terrain, man.
Опер снизу принимай.
Я спущусь.
There's our medic. Or another medic.
Я дойду.
I was still moving on my own through the trench, through Hrach. I reached cover on my own legs. And then I sat down. Battalion medics started working on me. And once I sat, I couldn't stand back up. I saw they put a tourniquet on my leg right away and said, "You've got blood coming from your head too." I'm like, what do you mean? Then look what's there. Takes off my helmet and says, not much, just grazed. Okay, I say, wrap it. They wrap my head a bit. And my arm? I couldn't feel my arm at all. Couldn't even move my fingers. And by the way, we assaulted on my birthday.
Damn.
Academic says, you've ditched the cake for the second year already. I'm like, what can I do? I didn't do it on purpose. And then we started evacuating Rostik. Senator from the battalion came in. The battalion commander sent him. We quickly loaded Rostik. And then we rolled out in pairs. That's how our recon by fire went. First in my life as a commander, with wounded in that op. Then we found out what hit him. It was his birthday too. He had a stitch tourniquet around the waist area, and a machine gun round hit the tourniquet, ricocheted off the windlass, and went not into the pelvis, which could have been much worse, but into the thigh. Also hit his arm, broke the bone, and hit his helmet too. And the funny thing is, it was fashionable then. Helmets without ear covers, plus tactical headphones. These tactical guys. And it hit the cutout of the stamp on the top rail and got stuck there.
Oh my
762. Honestly, I think he was born in a shirt. Was born lucky. He got very lucky with the wound pattern, because it could have been much worse, especially considering the caliber. When it all ended, of course, we were kind of but it was his birthday, and I even hesitated whether to take him or not. He was persistent. Everyone wanted it. Nobody had participated in something like that. And we got our first experience like this.
Dude. So this dude, what is it, Apollon? Yeah, Apollon got raked by the, what sounds like PKM, right? 762. He took one to the arm, to the helmet, and then apparently another one to... No, because he said it bounced off the windlass, which is the dowel that you turn on a tourniquet. It bounced off into his thigh. Anyways, dude, he got smashed by that thing and still walked out. That's nuts. There's green, yellow, and red levels of casualty. A green casualty is typically one that can walk out and walk themselves to safety. So he would have been categorized as a green, but this guy got shot 3 times and was still green. That's crazy. We're gonna end it here because I know they're about to re-assault that same position. That'll be a good time to end it and start the next video. So do me a favor, you guys, please like, share, subscribe. Let me know you're still enjoying this content, and if you're willing and able, you want your money to go to something where you'll see the results in Ukraine. Check out this link here. I love you guys, and or it'll be in the description. I love you guys. We'll see you in the next video.